Stole rats. I've honestly been standing here talking to this camera on my workbench now for like over an hour. I don't know how much of this I'll use, but I feel like I'm procrastinating today, that I don't really want to get to work on the plane. So I'm just talking to you guys about the fact it's been 2 years. And if I probably would stop talking to the camera, I'd probably get this plane done. All right, guys, I don't want this to sound like an advertisement. That's not what this channel is about. But I do want to thank a bunch of people and companies that have been involved in this. Not just this project, but the video Project Kitfox YouTube project. Right off the get-go, I want to thank Brian Dacus from BD Turnkey Engines. I don't know what to say other than I really value the time that you've spent working on this project with me. Value our friendship that we've developed over this project. And it's not just Brian. I've made so many close friends now from doing this project. It's really amazing. Brian has been such an awesome contributor to the Yamaha engine conversion community with what he's done. I don't know if I talked about it much, but Brian has done the same firewall forward on a Kitfox 4 using his AEM computer ECU system, and he has over 125 hours of flight time now, and it has gone really well. He's really happy with the performance. He's gathering a lot of data. He's doing oil analysis on both the engine and the gearbox. He's doing performance numbers. He's showing us fuel burn and all kinds of stuff. He's just is very thorough, really intelligent guy. I just can't say enough about how great it has been working with you, Brian. I appreciate it. One of the things I was flying a Carbon Cub last summer, and on the Dynon display it had a percentage of the horsepower up in the corner. And I told him about that. I said, you know, that was really cool. I was flying this Carbon Cub, and it showed what percentage of the horsepower you're using. And he's like, oh, well, I bet you could probably... He goes, yeah, let me look into that. Well, a week later, he had an update for the engine monitor that we have on here, the screen, that showed a bar graph on the left side of available horsepower, and then on the right side of the horsepower you're using. In a week, the guy figured out how to do it, did it, and then got it out to me, and I love that. It's the main screen, shows you how much horsepower you have available. So as you go up in density altitude, you know, that horsepower comes down. But instead of trying to figure it out in your head like I've done with the Lycoming in the past, it's right there on the screen. It's amazing. So Brian, you're awesome, dude. Appreciate it. Ken Brown. Ken's responsible for the engine mount and the exhaust header. Another really smart guy. Just a wizard with the computer design. He developed all this stuff in the computer, and then he has the experience and connections and knowledge on how to take that out of the computer and make it happen. I've learned a lot from Ken. We've had a lot of conversations about stuff from the airbox to engine mounts, headers, electrical systems, panels, everything. The guy's just, he's building a RANS S7 with the Yamaha conversion on it. It's going to be amazing. And I just really appreciate what you've done, how generous you have been helping along with this project. He actually contacted me and asked me if I would mind if he made me an engine mount. I'm like, yeah, sure. That sounds amazing. So thank you, Ken. I really appreciate that. Rich Kimball, Snake River Bush Plains up in Idaho. I drove all the way out to Idaho in that video. Oh, it was like 2 months into the build just to meet with Rich. I did a couple other things while I was there, but the main reason was to go meet Rich and talk to him about this idea he had about a wing. And we talk all the time now, like once or twice a week. He's come to the house several times. He's stayed with us. He's become a good friend. And I appreciate everything Rich has done to help with this build. He built the prototype wing and covered it. I just finished it with the paint, but we're hopefully going to be testing that. He's going to come down next week, hopefully, with another Kitfox that we're going to slap those wings on and go out and fly it and see how it performs. Hopefully the weather's going to allow us to do that. But Rich has been there for all the little stuff too. He was super helpful with advice on the covering process, other little build technique tips and stuff. And so Rich, thanks, man. You're awesome. Rich also builds Kitfoxes. That's what he does for clients. He builds Highlanders, Kitfoxes. He repairs damaged Kitfoxes. If you have a ground loop or something and you don't have the time or knowledge to fix your plane, Rich Kimball, Snake River Bush Planes is your guy. He's top notch. Randy Appling at Carbon Concepts up in Alaska. He and I have been working for quite a while now on a design to bring the slats to a Kitfox. There has been a couple bumps I'm not going to get into along the way with that development. There's not a lot to attach to on the wing, and especially with a specific length slat. So we're having to develop, he has to actually make a new mold. So he has to basically design a slat specific for the Kitfox, and that's why it's taken so long. And that's just to get the spacing so that we have the slats mount to the ribs. And before he gets really into that, we're going to test him on the prototype wing, which already has brackets mounted at his standard 4-foot intervals. I'll go into that on the wing video. But point is, thank you very much to Randy for your patience and your help with bringing the slats to the Kitfox. I hope they perform amazing, and we really see an advantage to them. Again, I don't want this to sound like an advertisement, guys, but these are the people that have been behind the scenes helping with this project, and I couldn't have done it to this level without them. The companies that I chose to work with, Grand Rapids Avionics, you guys are awesome. If you guys are looking for avionics, put Grand Rapids at the top of your list as an option. They are reasonably priced. Their support is awesome. Their continuing support as far as updates, there's no membership or no subscription fee for your updates on a Grand Rapids unit, which is a huge selling point. They're also much more self-contained, the unit itself. The EFIS has the ADHARS unit in it. The GPS unit mounts right to the back of it. So unlike some of the other avionics manufacturers, you're not putting components everywhere and having to wire everything in. I mean, I looked at some of them, and the amount of, like, you couldn't even figure out how to order the system because there were so many peripherals that just have like letter and number identifiers to them that you don't really know what you even need. Grand Rapids was straightforward. You can call them up, and it's not like some surprise where they're going to send you an estimate of, like some of the other companies where, the initial screen's like $3,000, but when you price out the system, it's $20,000. Grand Rapids is real clear with what it is, what the price is, what you need. In addition to that, it was just for me, it was the best company that I tried to work with through all of them. Grand Rapids really won me over with their service, their sales guys. He's awesome. Support is available, and their product is, I think, great. I haven't flown it yet. But as far as the installation and the capabilities of it, from the EFIS to the autopilot to the GPS unit, real happy with their Grand Rapids. So give them a look. Guardian Avionics, if you guys are going to put an iPad in your panel, you really don't need to look any further than Guardian. They make the gold standard mount. And the key part of what Guardian does is it's a complete unit where you have your power supply and your fan. If you're going to put an iPad in your panel, it is now becoming an important part of your panel, either as a primary or a secondary display. You need to make sure that it is being charged, has power to it, and you need to make sure it's going to stay cool so it doesn't shut down on you. And Guardian provides all that with their in-panel mounts. So thank you to Guardian. I really appreciate your guys' support of the channel. EarthX batteries. You guys don't need to look any further than EarthX if you're going to put a battery in your plane. They're small, they're lightweight, they're powerful. Enough said. EarthX is the way to go. The Yamaha APEX engine would not be on this airplane if it wasn't for Teal Jenkins. Teal Jenkins is the owner of Skytrax, and he designed and developed and made these gearboxes. They are a work of art. You can't deliver the power from this engine to a propeller without it. The RX-1 has other options. The Apex, as far as I'm concerned, there really isn't a very good option other than Skytrax. It is robust. It seems to be performing as expected. Some guys are putting enormous horsepower through these things. So thank you to Teal. He's always available for support on it. The support's there, the development's there. Teal, without you, this whole Yamaha thing wouldn't be happening. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. SendCutSend has probably been my favorite discovery throughout this whole last 2 years. I've talked about them a lot in the video, and it's just because it has taken the garage builder to a new level. We can now think things up, draw them in the computer, send off a file, and then the next thing you know, a part shows up that it was in your head a week ago. I've been working with them recently on their newest endeavor, and that is to go not just with the metal, but to carbon fiber. This is one of the floorboards for the, this is actually the Copilot front floorboard. I put all the files, I developed all the files for the floorboards, and I sent them off to SendCutSend. They cut them out of carbon, whatever thickness, finish, whatever you want. We did a couple test pieces, and there'll be a whole video on this, but bottom line is we end up going with 16th inch, super stiff, strong, and slightly lighter than the wood. The reason the wood was chosen probably was because of the weight and strength. So you're not getting a massive weight savings with the carbon. It'll probably be about in the realm of half to a pound savings through the whole kit. But the problem I found with the wood over the 14 years that I own my 5 is that moisture causes it over time to warp a little bit. They discolor from the varnish. And then everywhere they're fastened down with a screw, the wood actually compresses over time and you get a divot there. So durability and longevity and strength, you're going to be a lot better off going with the carbon, and it will be a little bit lighter. So this is something that I've been working on with them for a couple months now, and they're at a point where it's still in development. It hasn't been offered to the public as far as a service, but they're very close to doing that. They're finalizing carbon fiber suppliers and stuff like that. So this will be, those of you guys are going to want to know about how to get these carbon fiber floorboards. They will be something that I'll be selling through Bowen Aero. It will be on our website as soon as they're available to just get to you if you order them. So that is something to stay tuned for. You can check out www.bowenaerollc.com. Keep checking back. There's going to be a whole renovation of the website to make it a lot better here coming up soon. So anyway, SendCutSend, you guys are amazing. Jim, I really appreciate everything you've done to support the channel. And recently Josh, working with him with the carbon fiber. The last group that I would like to thank is you, the viewer. Way back when I did my first couple videos like the Alvord flying trip, I posted it on YouTube in order to share it with the guys that were on the trip. Went back a couple years later and it had 1,000 people or something had watched it, and people were subscribing. I didn't even understand what the subscribing meant. Now we've grown to almost 14,000 subscribers in less than 2 years, and the viewership's been fantastic. You guys, the engagement with the comments, I so appreciate the comments. I think it's really, when you get right down to it, why I like doing the videos still, because they are so time consuming, and it does hold back progress on the plane to take time to do these videos. But when I get to put a video out and then I come back and read the comments and get the input from you guys, I really enjoy that. And it's overwhelmingly, the comments are supportive, constructive, But you guys are also an amazing audience. I mean, the knowledge that comes from the audience, the feedback, you guys, it's amazing. You'll call me out on stuff when you see that it's not right, like that whole throttle linkage video. I knew that wasn't up to par, and when you guys called me on it, it just made me really focus back in on that and come up with a proper solution. And I appreciate it. You guys weren't harsh about it. You were constructive. You were critical, and you saw something you didn't like, and you said it. And I appreciate that. And that's kind of one of the reasons I like to have you guys subscribe. Only 45% of the audience is subscribing. I'm not here to pander for subscriptions. I mean, it's not that big a deal. But if you're subscribed, you can comment. And for those of you that don't understand what the subscription does for you on YouTube, it allows you, all I have to do is create an account, which doesn't cost you anything. You're not paying any money. But what it allows you to do is select the videos that you like by subscribing to them. Then you'll see the most recent videos from that particular YouTuber. And it will also help kind of steer you towards similar videos when you go to your home screen. So if you like aviation videos, but because they know that because you now subscribe to like 4 of them, you're going to get suggested other aviation videos. So I do highly recommend doing it. I do it when I see a video from a channel, or just a video I like. I'll go to that particular YouTube's channel and go through and see if there's other content that I want to see. If it's just that one-off video, I may not subscribe. But if there's a bunch of stuff that I like my most recent one, completely unrelated, and here's a shout out to him, is Ghost Town Living. This guy over by Death Valley bought an old ghost town. I watched a video. I thought it was awesome, so I went to his channel and subscribed to it, and I've now watched all of his videos, and you should go check it out. The guy's, it's an amazing little journey he's on. So anyway, that's what subscribing does for you. If you guys aren't, real tech savvy and you avoided the subscribing because you think it's a fee or a way to track you, the government to track you or whatever, I don't know. But that's what subscription does. If you guys want to subscribe, so you can comment, I really appreciate the comments. So, please do if you want to contribute. The comments, though, I'm really impressed with you guys as an audience as far as your backgrounds, what you're contributing, the level of knowledge that you're contributing, and I love the fact that this is kind of like jack of all trades, master of none when you're building a plane. You do some painting, you do some covering, you do some engine work, you do some of this, you do some welding, but that's not the one thing I do. I don't cover airplanes. But there may be a guy in the audience that's what he does, is he paints airplanes. And so he contributes something specific about the vast amount of experience that he has building or painting airplanes. He can contribute by putting a comment on there. And it's not just to me. I mean, I read it and I get something out of it. But it's the community that we've now created, all of us have created around the Project Kitfox videos. And that is the comment section. You can go there, you can read, and you can get not just pointers from my video, but you can get pointers now from the comment section. So if you guys haven't gone into the comment section and read what people say about the videos, and you have time to do it, I think it's another enjoyable thing about the videos on YouTube is you watch them and then you see what other people think about it and how they want to contribute to what's going on. But I really want to thank the audience, above all, for all the support you guys have shown over the past 2 years with the Project Kitfox build. I know there's other videos that I do with Aero trips and flying trips and stuff like that. I even put a kite surfing video out there once. It didn't get a whole lot of views. So thank you to the audience. Thank you for making the Project Kitfox thing as big as it's gotten. I mean, it's no 100,000 subscriber big YouTube sensation, but we've created a cool community based around this project. So hopefully that was not too anticlimactic. I didn't have it really all set up for an awesome shot or anything, but engine is running. I had to keep it to a minimum because I don't have the coolant in yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the coolant in. That way we can run it for a while. Getting some vapor coming off of the exhaust. I thought it was a leak, but it was just some of the coating that's on the stainless kind of burning off. It did get really hot. I've got this temporary exhaust set up on here, very temporary, but that quieted it down. I had it firing off without anything on there. It wouldn't run very well without an exhaust on there. So we're set up with that. It takes a bit of throttle to get it going, revs up pretty quick. So I've got it running, started out about 3,000 RPM, and then once it settled, I was able to back it off down to about 1700 RPM. So she's alive, man. That's so awesome. All right, so I'm gonna do a couple things real quick before I put the coolant in. I have to finish the bulkhead pass through on the throttle, so I got to disconnect that, take that apart real quick, put the bulkhead in, or pass through in, and then get some coolant in there and open the doors up so we can run it a little bit longer. And I like to get it up to temp so we can set the idle.